Good morning again. Getting a little crazy here, doing 2 videos in one day. Whoa. So this is where we start to take a little bit of a turn to something different, and we start to look at word problems. Everyone's second favorite thing after fractions, of course. So these word problems, just like I was a crazy person about the first couple of lessons and showing work and doing it the specific way, these equations, these word problems are going to be the same way. I know that most of you are able to find the answer to the equation or the answer to what the problem's asking. But the thing is if it asks for an equation, you must write one. Because the bottom line is they don't really care if you can find the answer. They want to see that you can use a variable to represent a situation. So it's going to be important to do this. So steps for success when you're dealing with these word problems. The first step for success when you're dealing with these with the word problems is to assess the situation. And when I say assess the situation, you're going to look for, that's like reading. You're going to look for keywords. You're going to look for any fluff that you can disregard, which I'll talk more about fluff as we get into some of our examples. So first thing you're starting with is assessing the situation, as you should really in any situation. Second, you're going to define your variables. And you're only going to be using one variable, so you just need to define your variable. That's a let statement. Many of you are confused as to what that means. That is a let x equal whatever you're using it to represent. Hours, days, months, money, who knows. After defining a variable, you need to write an equation. And remember, if it's an equation, it must have an equal sign and a variable. That's the whole point of this. You need to use the variable that you defined. Fourth, once you write the equation, you naturally have to solve it. And I'll just be specific, using inverse operations, right? Like we've been doing, isolating that variable. And last but not least, because, actually let's throw in isolating the variable underneath there. Solve it using inverse operations, aka isolate the variable. And then the fifth step, because we're dealing with word problems here in real life situations, you need to write an answer sentence and put the answer into context. So your answer is not just going to say x equals 6. It's going to say x equals $6, 6 weeks, whatever the problem is actually talking about. So those are your steps for success. Not to confuse those with your requirements your requirements for full credit. These are the things that you need to have in order to get full credit on these word problems, and you get like a point for each one, and a lot of them are simple things that you just need to remember to do. So requirements for full credit. First one is that you need to have a let statement. Second is an equation with your variable, of course. Third requirement, and again, like you're getting a point for each one of these. So if you don't even know how to do the problem and you write down a let statement, I can still give you 1 point for that. You need to have solving work. You'll get a sentence for an answer sentence. Boom. Requirements for full credit. Let statement, equation with a variable, solving work for that equation, and an answer sentence. Make sure you have all of those things, otherwise you're throwing out free points.